Hello, adventurers, travelers, and friends, and welcome to Bragworthy Adventures. I'm your host, Rose, and today I want to tell you about what you need when you go to Europe. So my friend recently went to London and she let me help plan her trip, which was awesome. I love planning trips. If you've got a trip and you want me to plan it, go on Instagram and hit up my DMs. And I will work with you to figure out some trip details and do some trip consulting. But I helped her plan her trip to Europe, and it's been a while since I've been there myself. It's been a couple years, like only 2 or 3, but still, sometimes you forget the questions that people will ask on what do I need when I go to Europe. So if you are about to go to Europe for the first time, here are some things you need to know or need to have to make it a successful trip. The first one that you really need if you want to be able to use any of your technology, like your cameras and your computers and whatnot, is an adapter. So in case you didn't know, other countries don't have the same plugs that we do. Some don't even use the same voltage that we do. So it's important to look up what sort of plug you'll need and what sort of adapter you'll need. This one's great for France, but maybe not so much for the UK. It can be nice to get one like this. This is a universal adapter, so you can push out. This one's for the UK, this one's for the rest of Europe, this one is for US and Australia. So like it kind of tells me what it's for, and I can plug in here and plug this part into the wall. So whatever country I'm in, I should be able to plug in my device. We also have Apple sells little kits for your Apple products. So what I have is some things that can be plugged into my computer's charging cord for various different countries. So this is very important and easy to forget when you're so busy worried about what to do and where to go. So definitely make sure to bring that. The other thing you're absolutely going to need when you go to Europe is a good pair of walking shoes. As much as you think you can walk in heels on the cobblestone in Italy, maybe make sure you're really great at heels before you pull that one off. Because when you're in Europe, you're probably going to do a lot of walking, and you're going to want your feet to be comfortable so you don't ruin your trip by feeling hurt or by not being able to move around, being stuck in your hotel. So make sure you've got a good pair of walking shoes. These are my Brooks tennis shoes. I also have a great pair of Tevas that I wore all through Europe, and I really love Tevas. And if you're looking for maybe a nicer sandal, I like the Ulukais, which I recently did a video testing those out at Disney. So those are some good shoes. I also see a lot of people wear Birkenstocks. There's a lot of shoes. Just make sure they fit you and your feet, and never, ever try to wear in a new shoe in Europe, okay? Make sure they're already comfortable. The other thing that you need to know about, and maybe you can have beforehand, is a money belt. So it's hard to think that there are bad things that happen in this world, but of course there are. One of those things is pickpockets. There are pickpockets in Europe who will try and get your money out of your wallet when you're not noticing, or your phones out of your pockets, or whatever it may be. A money belt like this is worn underneath your clothes to keep your very important items very close to you and harder to get to by others. You can put in this like your credit card, or you can put your passport in there, and then it's right against your body with your clothes over it, so it's a lot harder to get to. Of course, a very important thing if you're going to Europe is to bring your passport. They won't let you in without it. Money is a big thing to bring before you go to Europe. There's different currencies in many different countries, but a lot of countries that are part of the European Union will have euros. So research what country you're going to and what sort of money you need to bring, and you can go to a place to exchange your money to get some European currency, whichever kind it is, or I like to use TravelX debit cards. So on TravelX, they have different debit cards that you can get, and you can fill it with that country's currency just from your bank accounts. The next thing that you might want to know about is city cards. So if you are trying to go to all the museums in a city and it's just the prices are racking up, try looking up that country's city card. There's a London card, there's a Paris card, there's a Rome card, which group a bunch of different museums and locations that people usually want to go to and give it to you all for one price. So if you go to enough places, you're going to be making some money back, it seems like. The next thing is medicine. You're going to want to make sure that you bring any medication you need. They have medicine, of course, in Europe. It's better to bring any sort of prescription that you have rather than trying to fill it over there. It'll be a little more difficult. They do have like ibuprofen and stuff. Maybe if you don't bring that, you can get it, but I prefer to have what I need with me. Those are the things I think you need to know, and you need to tell some other people some things too before you go. Make sure you tell your phone provider. If you need to get an international plan, talk to them and make sure you have the right plan for your trip. Talk to your bank, so if you are using your credit card abroad, they don't stop your credit card so you can't buy anything. And then what I love to do anytime I'm going somewhere new is watching some films or books or reading some books about that place. It really kind of gets you in the mindset of that culture and gets you even more excited for your trip. So if you're going to Europe, I hope these things helped. I hope I gave you a little jog to your memory on some things you need to bring or some things you need to know for your trip. And have an awesome time. I hope it is a brag-worthy adventure. If you liked this video and you want more videos like this, that's what this thing's for, the little like button. And if you just like watching me talk about travel stuff, you can hit the subscribe button. But as always, thank you again for watching, and bye, travelers.